Chris Burns up to the stage, and I would like to have him escorted by his brother Tom, who is a board member. Make sure you help him up to the stage. All right, boys, behave yourselves. Although a great all-around athlete, Chris Burns shone as a baseball pitcher. He's been described as a character guy, a great teammate, and a coach's dream. Noodle came into his own in 1987, pitching the Newcastle Midgets to a provincial championship against the arch-rival Chatham team. The next year, Chatham hosted the Nationals, where Chris pitched a complete game against Ontario, advancing the Ironman to the final. He also led Miramichi Valley to 2 provincial high school titles. As a member of the Junior Cardinals in 1989, Chris was a key pitcher at the Canada Summer Games in Saskatoon. In 1991, he played a major role in the Cardinals, picking up a silver medal as a host team at the Junior Nationals. This success earned interest from a nationally ranked junior program in Rhode Island, where in 1991 he helped lead the team to the NJCAA National Tournament in Colorado. He was honored with the Cyberstein Award for Excellence in Athletics and Academics. From 1991 to 93, he further honed his skills at the Baseball Canada Academy in Montreal. Returning home, he starred for the Senior Cardinals. He was a fearsome hitter who maintained a .300 average. His defining moment in senior came in the 1995 National Tournament in Chatham, where he picked up a win in the semifinal and 4 hours later pitched 4 innings to pick up another win and a national championship for the Ironman. He was named the tournament's top pitcher. Chris currently lives in Bradenton, Florida, where he is the Chief Information Officer for It Works. Chris's resume speaks for itself and makes him a valued addition to our wall. I invite you to say a few words, if you wish.
You guys hear me okay talking like this? I usually bat 3rd, 4th, or 5th, so this leadoff stuff's not for me. And I was talking down the hallway here, Tom and I, it was fun reminiscing about all the stories, and Tom was putting together his speech, and he's got like 30-some pages. And Patty Quinn and I were talking, and he said, hey, that's more pages than he has home runs, so we're off for a good start here. But what an incredible honor it is to be here, you know, amongst great men and women, and especially those who've passed on. You know, our hearts go out to those families, and thank you for representing. Thank you for the City of Miramichi, City of Miramichi Sports Wall of Fame, and the selection committee for honoring me and selecting me into this special honor tonight. You know, this class is very special to me in a few ways. You know, the late Gary Wood, you know, he's not only an integral part of coaching and supporting sports on the river, but he was a mentor to me. And he had never had a disparaging word, and definitely to anyone. He was definitely an encourager, so we loved Gary. Brother Tom, it's a special honor to be alongside you this evening. Although you and I hadn't played, we figured out we played together. I thought we didn't play together. So we actually played together for a year, so it mustn't have been very monumental for us playing together for a year. But we did play, his first year of senior was my last year before I moved away. And but it was when I was away, I missed my brothers, and always looking for an opportunity to listen in on the radio, on the broadcast, listen to Facebook, or even calling just to see how they were doing. So very proud of you, little brother, and you're an amazing athlete. Not too bad. My younger brother, Sparky's not here, but and he's too young. And even though he has more gray hair than me, it takes more than gray hair than to get up here in this bestow. But he couldn't be with us here tonight, but hopefully, just like a lot of you, family, friends, and whatnot, pour into your kids, pour into the community, and give them back, because there's a lot of great sports here in the Miramichi. I see a lot of many smiling faces here. I see Hale Butter back there. I see Poppy. I see Stiff. It's pretty fun when I've been known. Well, she introduced me as Noodle. I have a few nicknames, and I went to Rhode Island, became Lurch from the Adams family. Up in Montreal, I became the Grand Tata. I actually found out after that means big idiot, but that's okay. I didn't find that out till my second year. But I remember kind of my first year of high school, and I was out in the practice field. We were taking infield, and it was Michael Stiff gave me my other nickname that maybe not a lot of people know it. But I'm taking infield. I get John Can, who's John Can. He's an inductee here. He's a first base stud, and I'm at first base nervous as nervous can be. We're taking infield, and the guys are hitting balls, and Michael's going in the hole and throwing seeds across the infield to first base, and he's slapping the leather. My hand's hurting, and there was one of them he threw, and it was low. I was expecting it to bounce. It didn't bounce. It hit me in the elbow, and it was embarrassing. But all I heard across the field was, "Good hands, Meat Hooks." So Meat Hooks was my other nickname, so I really appreciate that, Stiff. I see Mitchell and Holmes back there, and I know some other guys. We played a lot of sports together, and we have a lasting friendship. And recently, I don't know if you play Wordle. Wordle's a great word game or whatnot, but we just got to get Mitchell over there to be able to spell 5-letter words. But hopefully Michael John will get you to spell the word one day, and I love you guys. Now, another smiling thing is Kronk. Mike LeBlanc, you've been a great influence on the river here, and you've mentored hundreds of kids. And even though you gave me my shot at hockey and bantam, I sucked at hockey, but you gave me a chance, buddy. I appreciate that. And but Mike, thank you, because a lot of people know and don't know, but you've done more for the family than people know. So thank you, Kronk. You're an awesome guy. So how do you get here? You get here, I'm going to quote the great Craig Biggio. You got to have a little bit of talent, and you got to have a lot of help. Gary Wood, as I mentioned, God rest his soul, he played a huge part of my life. But other coaches in my life, the late Robert Stewart, many years, Jim Matheson coached me, Greg Morris, Art Pontarelli, a lot of coaches. But without you volunteering your time and whatnot, many others might not have had some of these opportunities. But there was one coach that I remembered that was I was a young teen, but it was middle of the season when I got up to this year, and not only than the great Mike Spiderwood, and the only way that Mike could say it, he brought us to the mound as a team, and he said, "Okay, boys, who wants to pitch this year?" And I raised my hand, and I said yes, and that was I threw my first pitch that summer, so that was a pretty good, Spider. Thank you to my grandmother, Ruby. Ruby's back at the table there, 97 years young. You've been a steadfast, consistent figure in my life. You raised me as my mother, and your support and love of all the baseball we played have played a very special place in my heart. I love you, Nan. Carla, my wife, even though she's from the other side of the river when I was growing up, you're a big part of my family and my success. Thank you for that support and all the games that you've attended and your yelling and support. Speaking of my family, thank you to my family and friends that are here. With all your support and all that cheering and Jeremy couldn't do it without you. And anytime I go on a road trip, I need $5. They were the first to give me $5 so I could get a can of Coke and a Big Mac on the way home. Just a couple more here, but having a unique sidearm throwing style afforded me some great opportunity. And I know Tibor and I know Mark done it over there, as they caught me a lot as my catcher. And they always told me, throw that ball right at that right-handed hitter because your slider is going to break and it's going to make people look foolish. And it really did, because I had a great slider back in the day. I remember going to the Canada Games. Butter, I remember going to the Canada Games, and you guys were super intimidating to me. I mean, I was called up as a junior, but going out there to Saskatoon was phenomenal. And you guys as mentors, not only to us but the rest of the folks, thank you for that. And you cannot beat the New Brunswick yellow and blue shoes. Those were phenomenal sandals. That was pretty good. I think of a couple of things here real quick, but our junior team winning both back-to-back medals, a bronze here in the river, and we had to bring in, tried to burn the field with some gas because it rained, brought in some helicopters to try to even dry it up. So a very unique time to win back-to-back medals. That was great. Thinking about the late Rael Cormier, Rael, he ended up paving a lot of way for folks going down to Rhode Island. And going there, as we mentioned, finishing 7th in the Junior College World Series. And we had Michael and Mark down there. We had some others. But I had a lot of stories that I had to cut out for Rhode Island, other than having some fridge fulls of beverages to make sure we could pay our rent and utilities. But we'll keep those stories for after as we're at the bar. Montreal, the ABC was very special to me. David Godfrey, and I don't know if you guys know Stubby Clapp. He's from Ontario. We played a lot in Montreal. And it wasn't until after Montreal when I was home. I don't think Carla knows this, but I took her CRX, little two-seater, drove 9 hours. I got a tryout for the Montreal Expos and closed camp. And I went there, and I went up there, and I threw my heart out. I never got drafted, but I got a call from Claude Pelche, head scout of the Los Angeles Dodgers in Canada, and I was expected to get in draft, and I was excited about that. He said, "No, Burnsy, we're not going to draft you, but would you like to be a scout for the Dodgers on the Miramichi area?" So although it was not being drafted, it was still bittersweet being able to do a little bit of bird dogging scouting for the Dodgers. And just get about finishing up here, but 1995, that was one of my most memorable years. I don't know a lot of people knew, but I had pneumonia. I hadn't thrown any for two weeks. Went over and I played, and I pitched in the semifinals and beat Ontario. I went up to the scoreboard and had the biggest feed of fish and chips you could ever had, and it was a great food. I come back to the ballpark ready to cheer on the team and ready to cheer them for the gold medal. I went up in the clubhouse and then looked, and Greg Morris had asked me, "Hey, do you want to pitch, Burnsy?" I said, "Give me the ball." So I took the ball that afternoon and beat Quebec too. So a very great accomplishment on my part, beating both Ontario and Quebec. Yeah. And just to all my teammates over the years, we had some great runs, we had some titles, we had some fun road trips, made great friendships, and put a ton of miles together in that old 15-passenger van. And Huey Wood, I'll never forget your driving. Lastly, I'm going to read this right because I want to get it right, but lastly, I want to thank the game of baseball. It has changed over the years, but it's both an art and a science. But whoever can hit a round object going 90+ miles per hour, making a subconscious decision in a fraction of a second where to swing the round bat to hit the round ball square, and only be successful if you fail 70% of the time. What a great sport. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate this honor.